I really have been sucking at recording, but it is currently Thursday. Sunday, we did our family camp out. Tuesday, came out here, we did a little bit of stuff. Everybody was tired from the camp out still, though. So I didn't really record. I didn't even get the camera out. We got some stuff done, but let's go over what we kind of did over the weekend. My dad was able to get a caliper to work for this right rear, and put all the shocks on, and just went and ran it a little bit. Shocks do need to come back off. That's part of what's happening tonight. But ran decent. One of the biggest was that it actually snapped this axle. So he could only do like 60, 65 miles an hour because it was pretty much in three-wheel drive. And then he also heard a clunking noise, which that would explain it as well. So we are pulling these shocks back off of this thing so we could redo those again. And then I think we have a new axle for this, so we should be able to throw this thing back together and maybe go run it Sunday. The Blue Razor I try to take out to the camp out. We're running into a few issues with it. The battery is still very dead. And then something with the coils. Once it gets hot and you let it run for a little bit, then you go try to take it out. The coil gets hot and separates, and then it throws a misfire code and shuts off to protect itself. So we actually went and stole the coil off of my dad's Play Razor. So we're going to throw that on. We're also going to throw some foam in the fuel tank. And then we ordered another battery. So we can throw that in there and hopefully get rid of almost all of the electrical problems we're running into with this thing. So with that being said, the interior is pretty much ripped back out of this thing so that we can get to that battery, as well as remove this fuel tank and start shoving the foam inside of it. My dad was just out here. He's running to the automotive shop, and he'll be right back to grab the fuel pump tool for the Blue Razor. But he is starting to rebuild the CVs for the 1600. And then Mike Meehan, our motor builder, recommended that we get a different fuel pump. So Pop has that now thrown in there, and he also made some new tabs so we could weld that all in. And now the fuel system is ran. There's some new parts there. And once those CVs go in, this thing will only be waiting on a motor, which hopefully we should have before the end of the week. The one car is also gone, and that is off at SDG, getting the shocks rebuilt and gone through. And then they should be coming out maybe sometime next week to go do a couple test days with my dad and James Ward, the owner, to make sure everybody likes it. And then that thing will be all ready to go. It's definitely getting down to crunch time. We have about 3 weeks left before the race. That car, we need to tune the shocks, but it's very close, and we didn't really run into any issues with it. But this car definitely has a lot more issues and a lot more stuff that needs to happen before this race. So Pop's inside. My brother will be right back. My dad will be right back. And I'm going to start pulling the shocks off the Harpo's car. Okay, well, I got the rear shocks pulled off. And as I was trying to pull off the fronts, he came back and told me the fronts actually don't need to come off, and it's just the rears that need to be messed with. So got the rears off, and hopefully you can get those done before Sunday. However, when I went to start pulling off the front axles or the front shocks, I noticed that this CV has a tear in the boot. So we are going to need a new base of boot for this one, and then a whole new axle assembly for this driver rear. Dad, what are we doing over here?
Everybody's favorite job. Got to get these CVs greased up, put together, and then slapped on this car. We got a little bit behind, and we're trying to make up some time.
What he doesn't want to say is all he does now is just rebuild them, because he'll either have me or him clean them. So I had to clean the 1600 ones, and whenever the one car gets back, he has to clean the one car ones, which are going to be a lot worse than the 1600s. But the battery is about to die on the GoPro, and it's not time to go in yet, but this is going to be probably like a 3-minute video because I don't know how to record, or I just forget to record. But I see you guys on Sunday when hopefully we're running that car and Harpo's car. Okay, it's currently Friday. I know I said last night that it was just going to be that, but it's getting too close to the race to just be working Tuesday and Thursday nights and then Sunday. So it's Friday, just got off work. I'm going to pull these front shocks off the Blue Razor because we got the new upper springs for those. and then the rear shocks off of Harpo's car are already out at the shop. So I'm gonna pull these off. I'm gonna head back out there. I'm gonna swap the springs. My dad's working on rebuilding Harpo shocks. I'll come back, throw these on, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, I got the shocks off. Time to throw them in the truck and then head out to the automotive shop. Okay, so I'm now back and the front shocks are back on. The rear shock upper springs are still trying to get shipped. They're on back order or something, so we ordered them from a different place. They should be shipping and getting here eventually. But if we do something tomorrow, I'll record it. If not, this is gonna be the end of the video. Okay, it is Saturday night. I was out here a little bit today. We got that overflow resealed and then the foam put in the fuel tank. And then over there, we got a brand new anti-gravity battery to throw in this thing so that we're not having to jump start it every once in a while. Also have the rear shocks for Harpo's car and a rear axle for his car. So I'm probably gonna get those thrown on and this thing should be ready to go test again. Sounded like this thing just finished charging, so I'm gonna unhook it, throw it in the car and see what happens. Okay, battery is in. I was priming the fuel pump, got everything reconnected over there. But I'm kind of gonna wait, make sure Pop don't need to do anything before I put the seats in. So I'm gonna go over to Harpo's car, get those rear shocks back on, get that other axle in, and throw some wheels on this thing and it'll be ready to go test again. Okay, so Dad's out here and we're back on this thing. If you can see in there, that foam is sitting right there. So when I try to dump a 5-gallon in there, it doesn't allow it to flow fast enough and then it comes back out the filler neck. So we're gonna take the fuel pump back out, pull that foam piece out, notch it, and then put it back in and see if that fixes our problem. Okay, so we got the main piece that's blocking our filler neck and we are notching it out so that hopefully it doesn't overflow anymore. Thought I recorded it, but Dad's already inside. We got the foam figured out. Seats are going back in. We're gonna bleed the brakes tonight. We also got the rear bumper. It's a little bent, but we got that in, so that should be good for this race at least. We'll see if Pop wants to drill some bigger holes and put some bigger bolts in. But we got that in. He's getting the seats mounted with a little persuasion from a purse. And once we get those brakes bled, we should be able to go drive this thing again tomorrow and see what's going on with it. Okay, so we got the seats in. We were bleeding the brakes, and we thought we saw something wrong with this, and sure enough, right in there, the brake line exploded. So we're gonna go steal another one off the parts raiser, and he'll throw that on tomorrow morning, and we should be able to go run this thing tomorrow. But anyways, we're gonna get these seatbelts routed through the seats, and then this is gonna be the end of the video, and I will see you on Sunday, which is tomorrow for us, in the next video.
Getting cars out and stuff like that, so. How are we supposed to fucking film like this?
Dad, what are we doing over
Every
here?
fucking time.
Dad, what are we doing over
You
here?
can hear me over that?
Yes!
Hello.
Dad, what are we doing over here? Dad, what are we doing over here?
Trying to get these CVs together, Tanner. Don't cut me. Don't cut me.
Dad, what are we doing over here?